Welcome back to the Thoughtful Techie Cloud YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the types of cloud computing. Now wait, hold on a second. You might be a little confused. What do you mean the types of cloud computing? I thought there was just one cloud. There is actually one cloud, but there's three different types of cloud computing that I want to talk to you about that make up that overall cloud stack. So let's kind of dig into that a little bit deeper here now. So cloud computing, in case you didn't know, provides developers and IT department and businesses with the ability to focus on what matters most. Businesses are not going to differentiate themselves by how well they maintain the data center because most businesses aren't in the business of providing data center services. Data centers are typically a means of a business just to put their tech stack on racks, stacks, servers, application and software, and all this stuff up until the point where then you can do the development. Cloud computing erases all that undifferentiated heavy lifting, gets rid of all the underlying infrastructure, offloads that onto your cloud provider. Now you can just focus on the development. As you can imagine, cloud computing has grown in popularity. Several different models have spun up. We're going to talk about three of those. There's also some deployment strategies that have emerged based on the specific needs of businesses. So not only will we talk about the types of cloud computing, but we'll also talk about some of the deployment models. So like I say, you're going to get maximum bang for your buck here in this video. So let's go right into this. Cloud computing models. There are three, as I mentioned. Each model represents a different part of the cloud computing stack, as I've gone over here. So let's start with the first here, infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service, which is obviously abbreviated as IaaS, is the basic fundamental building blocks of the cloud. So infrastructure as a service is simply that. Think servers and network and compute and storage and databases. These fundamental building blocks, also sometimes called primitives, in which you can consume and build your services on your own. The thing here with the infrastructure as a service, while it is extremely great because you are at that particular level, at the infrastructure level, and when I say infrastructure, I'm not talking about the underlying infrastructure that your cloud provider is responsible for to give this service to you. I'm talking about that infrastructure that runs on top. So if you go to spin up a virtualized server, that's great. And you don't have to worry about the hypervisor and that underlying compute platform underneath, but you still need to manage that virtual server, the operating system, patching it, and all that care and feeding. So infrastructure service is great. It does allow you to be agile, but you just have to maintain more of that particular stack. Now, platform as a service removes some of the undifferentiated heavy lifting of infrastructure as a service. And with a platform as a service, now you don't have to worry about both the hardware and the operating system. And this allows you to purely focus on the deployment and management of the applications. So this helps you gain some efficiencies as now you don't have to worry about resource procurement, capacity planning, software maintenance, patching, and like I say, all that undifferentiated heavy lifting that I was mentioning earlier. Infrastructure as a service removes you not having to worry about hardware and capacity planning. But with infrastructure as a service, you still have to worry about kind of the patching and that operating system level. Now, let's look at the third type of cloud computing. That's software as a service. Software as a service provides you with the complete product. So you run and manage the running of that and managing of that product is strictly dealt with by the service provider, and you just consume that particular service, whatever that happens to be, in that software as a service model. That underlying service is maintained by your provider, and you only need to worry about Not a whole lot. You just use the software, and the software as a service provider continually provides updates and support on that particular software. One of the examples here, which is outlined, is think about webmail. Think about webmail, then the fact that you just send and receive messages, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Trust me, underneath the hood there, but it's a software as a service, so you don't have to worry about anything. You just use your email, and boom, you're good to go. So that's that. So just a quick recap here. Infrastructure as a service, the basic fundamental building blocks, your servers, your storage, your database, your network, and everything up from there you can build. Platform as a service removes the need for you to have to manage and patch the operating system, and everything up from there. Software as a service, both the hardware and the software that brings you that service is completely maintained by your provider, and now you're just consuming the service that you pay for. Now let's slide on down here to the last part of the video, which is talking about cloud computing deployment models. Now I'll start with the obvious here, and that's the cloud itself. So let's say you're all in on the cloud. So this is a cloud-based application that is fully deployed, also called all in the cloud. All parts of that application run in the cloud and have been migrated from existing infrastructure to take the full benefits and advantages of cloud computing. Those cloud-based applications can be built on low-level pieces of infrastructure, as I mentioned earlier, with the infrastructure as a service. So at low level, those servers, that storage, database, and network, or you can leverage higher levels of services that provide an abstraction, such as those platform level services or those software as a service level services. Consume those bits to build your application. All right. Now, before I talk about hybrid deployment models, let's jump back over to on-premises. On-premises would be those data center environments, or sometimes called co-located environments, where you don't necessarily maintain the data center. A co-located environment is still a data center, but some other provider runs that underlying infrastructure. There's no services on top of that. They just give you an environment, some heating and some cooling, and then you install your applications on these physical boxes and move on that way. So on premises, which is the data center, you deploy resources on premises using virtualization software, and you need to maintain that virtualization software, and that's called a private cloud. The on-premises deployment model does not provide many of the benefits that cloud computing provides, because you have to bear the full lift of everything. Not only do you need to innovate, but you need to figure out how to run cable, how to terminate fiber optic cables, where, if you should use Cat 6 or Cat 5e and all this other craziness stuff I've done back in the day. And in most cases, these deployment models is where legacy IT infrastructure lives and technical debt lives with all that infrastructure. Even though you have virtualization technology, it is very difficult to try to automate and build a modern application in an on-premises environment. It's very difficult, if not next to darn near impossible to do so. Now, there are a lot of organizations that fall into the hybrid model. Typically, where you see hybrid compute deployment models is big enterprise companies. So big enterprise companies, these are big companies that it's hard for them to pivot very quickly. They know and realize the value of cloud, but still it takes some time to get into the cloud. You can't go into cloud from overnight from 0 to 100, especially if you have thousands of applications sprawled out across the globe. And in the hybrid deployment model, what's nice about this is that when customers have a foot both on premises, but they want to go to the cloud, the hybrid deployment model bridges that gap so that they can more easily coexist in both the on-premises environment and burst into the cloud as they are working to ultimately migrate fully to the cloud. So let's look at some of the details here. A hybrid deployment model is a way to connect infrastructure and applications between cloud-based resources and existing resources that are not located in the cloud. And the hybrid deployment is between the cloud and the existing on-premises infrastructure, which gives you the ability to burst into the cloud. So this is a very popular deployment mechanism that bridges the gap, literally, which is why it's in the middle here, between being in the cloud fully and on-premises not in the cloud. And hybrid is a really good approach to ultimately get your applications and workloads fully into the cloud. All right, so let's talk about next steps. You're watching this video now. You are in your particular stage in your journey. You could just be, this might be the first video you've ever seen on my channel. You might just be learning about AWS and cloud computing for the first time. If that's you, I want to let you know I have several videos on this channel that are going to help you out. And I want you to definitely explore my channel. At the end of this channel, I'm going to drop you with 2 videos that I think you'll also enjoy. So make sure you check those out as well. So if you're just starting your journey, take that route. Now, you also may be working on your AWS cloud certifications. I have a number of certification related videos in this channel. So I want you to take a look at those. And I want you to, if you fall outside of those, that boundary, comment below and let me know where you are in the journey and how I can help you and what videos you want to see next. I'm always happy to help you. And I look forward to making future videos for you. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Check out these 2 videos that are popping up here right now, and I'll see you in the next video.